The police arrive while they are busy enjoying the watch and talking about wanting bendy women when the police arrive and arrest Woo Yun and Sun Hee. Woo Yun thinks that the reason is because of the illegal download, but it turns out that the elders who helped load boxes were thieves, and the two were accomplices. However, the issue was resolved, and they were released from prison. While in lockup, Sun Hee had told Woo Yun that it took her 3 seconds to fall in love with Yoo-gun. In the following days, Woo Yun continuously sulks about Sun Hee to the extent of breaking Yoo-geum's windshield. He seemingly gives up on himself and becomes like a homeless person at the university until Sun Hee comes to his rescue. Woo Yun recovers and accepts Sun Hee's relationship until he overhears Yoo-gun flirting with another lady and invites her to join him on a European trip. He does not tell Sun Hee about it until he hears Yoo-geum bragging about the need to win a football game since he bet with Sun Hee that they would go to Europe together if he won the game. Woo Yun drags Sun Hee away from the field to tell her what he heard, but she does not believe him. After getting back into the field, Woo Yun's first instinct is to make sure they lose the game, but seeing the look of hurt and disappointment on Sun Hee's face, he chooses to win the game for her. He then beats up Yoo-geum after the game, and they stay away from Sun Hee, avoiding her path when they come across each other at the university. Sun Hee goes on a European trip, and they lose touch again. What happens to Hwang Woo Yun and Hwang Sun Hee after college? Fast forward a few years later, in 2012, Woo Yun still keeps in touch with his college friends whom he met at the boarding house, Gunnam, Kongja, and Supyo. They are in their final year of college after having taken a break from studies for military service. Supyo is still in the military. Woo Yun is dating Min-kyung and works as a part-time trainer at the gym. On the other hand, after going to Europe with Yoo-geum, Sun Hee realized that Woo Yun was right to warn her about him. They broke up, and she came back to Korea. She now works as a model for commercials and brands. Do Hwang Woo Yun and Hwang Sun Hee reunite in adulthood? One day, Woo Yun is busy handing out flyers for the gym he works at when he sees Sun Hee. He follows her into a studio where she works as a fashion brand model, and she is ecstatic to see him. They have a meal later, catching up, and she learns he is dating someone. Coincidentally, the person who chauffeurs Sun Hee around to go to the promotional shoots quits on her, and Woo Yun offers to be her driver. They spend more time together, and the feelings that Woo Yun has always had for Sun Hee are rekindled. However, this time, he is the one with the barriers since he is dating someone else. On the other hand, the relationship between Min-kyung and Woo Yun deteriorates since he spends most of his time with Sun Hee, and they break up. Do Hwang Woo Yun and Hwang Sun Hee start dating? After breaking up with Min-kyung, Woo Yun goes to Sun Hee, where she is shooting a commercial and tells her about breaking up with Min-kyung. Woo Yun wants them to start dating, but Sun Hee thinks that there are no love feelings between them, and Woo Yun is only chasing lingering feelings from the past. Coincidentally, an accident happens at the shooting. A sign falls from the top of the building, and Woo Yun rushes in to save Sun Hee. Woo Yun gets injured and fails the final assessment to become a physical education teacher at the university. On the bright side, Woo Yun and Sun Hee started dating and are so happy for the next few years together. This time, the barrier to their love story is Woo Yun's inability to get a job, which makes him start getting frustrated and harbor regrets. Sun Hee's father dies, and during the funeral, Sun Hee overhears Woo Yun discussing with Gunnam his fear of someday starting to regret meeting with Sun Hee again since the reunion cost him his university scores and a chance at finding a job. With the lingering feelings of how regrets destroyed her parents' relationship and how her father used to blame her mother for his failures and choices, Sun Hee can no longer stay with Woo Yun. She, therefore, decides to take up a job her company had offered earlier, and she relocates to Belgium. On the other hand, Woo Yun gets a job as a substitute physical education teacher and later lands a full-time position. Do Hwang Woo Yun and Hwang Sun Hee end up together? In the present timeline, 2017, Sun Hee looks for Woo Yun to tell him she is getting married. Woo-yeon casually asks her to send him an invite, which she does, and Woo-yeon is despondent. He drinks uncontrollably and forces his friends to join him for isolation out of land to make sure he does not attend the wedding. However, on the wedding day, he changes his mind. His first instinct is not to let timing get in the way of their relationship again. He asks for his friend's help to have a chance to talk to Sun-hee before the wedding. Upon seeing how happy she is, he decides to say something else. Woo-yeon tells Sun-hee that he should never have regretted meeting her again, but instead, he should have appreciated that he met her back in high school. She changed his life and allowed him to dream and work towards his dream. She pushed him to attend college. He is the man he is today because she turned his life around for the better. He genuinely wishes her a happy life full of love and laughter. Sun-hee thanks Woo-yeon for always being by her side at the darkest time of her life. He was the only constant in her otherwise complicated life, and she is who she is today because he constantly reminded her to follow her dreams even when she sometimes forgot. How does On Your Wedding Day end? After saying their farewells, Woo-yeon joins the crowd, waiting for the bride to come down. As soon as she walks down the stairs, they lock eyes for one last time and smile at each other. While Sun-hee walks towards her new husband-to-be, Woo-yeon walks out the door with a smile. Isn't it too frustrating to follow a heart-wrenching love story between two characters who clearly belong together but they decide not to choose each other? Although the series emphasizes the importance of timing, it does not make the tragic ending less agonizing. What's more frustrating is that the story is more of a one-sided first love where Woo-yeon constantly chooses Sun-hee regardless of the situation, while she somehow always has someone else as her first choice. Regardless, this one tugs at the heartstrings through the unending emotional turns, and the actors successfully pull the viewers through the different phases of their impossible love story.